All right, friends, it's T-Man. I got to do a short reaction to the Kent the Carnivore, his video, Kent the Carnivore. He's doing some sort of documentary, I don't know. 2026 documentary, The Great Awakening trailer. Okay.
We're the only form of life that are sick as a population. And so that is wrong, especially.
I agree with that. That's true. We are very sick right now and getting sicker.
Because 100 years ago, we weren't sick as a population.
Listen to what he just said. 100 years ago, we were not sick as a population. Why is that? Because up to just about 100 years ago, we were still eating meat raw. That's why. And we ate less plants because usually you would eat them during harvest, and after harvest, you would just go back to eating meat again. And we didn't have refrigerators or any of these like supposed stoves. Yeah, I guess you might say we had these heating things. I don't know. Really difficult to say. But yeah, just like Mennonites, no refrigerators, no cooking, and no, you wouldn't put fire in your house. So yeah, the good majority of people, they ate raw meat, and so that's why he says 100 years ago this was unfathomable. Yeah, because we ate raw meat. People just, you're going to say, well, how do you know? People are going to make up a bunch of stories right now. Bro, I don't know. You figure it out. You're an intelligent person. You can think for yourself. I don't have to think for you.
Something is poisoning us. Something is harming us. Maybe we've got.
Think about it. Something is poisoning us. Something is harming us. Well, they've already done many tests on cooked meat and pasteurized milk. They did it on cats. They have done new studies. There's new studies. They're doing it on, what's it called? They're doing it on rats and mice and other animals. They've done them again, and they say processed meat is associated with mutations, cancer, diseases, and chronic diseases. So they are also associated with chronic diseases and mutations. Now, I don't know about plants. Can they cause mutations? But they definitely cause chronic disease because that's the whole idea. They're toxic, and so the toxins, they knock you out. Now, as far as the mutations from meat, they could be because the broken DNA is being absorbed in your DNA. Your DNA is absorbing the broken DNA, which is causing the mutations. Now, as far as any disease, well, they'll equate the cooking heat and cooking meat to being carcinogenic. So maybe perhaps the carcinogenic part of the meat is what's causing the cancer and other diseases. Now, as far as plants, you're still eating too many plants because you're importing them now. So here's the funny part. The fruits and vegetables, you're eating them now all year round. So it's not like you're waiting for harvest anymore. You know what I mean? These things are out of season and you're eating them all year round. You're eating tropical fruit. You're eating like fucking plants. It's insane.
Got it wrong. Humans are very trusting, and they also tend to believe what the people in authority will say. They believe studies, they believe doctors, they believe the media. But unfortunately, they're not looking.
Doctors and studies. Well, studies definitely have their place. I don't know about these doctors. They don't know anything. Humans don't know anything.
On the headlines, and that's a big problem.
Meat eating has been a staple across all of early human hominids and all of our proto-humans that
Yeah. Raw meat eating has been, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's been like that. Yeah, because think about it, out in nature, I mean, you don't have any pots or pans, right? You know what I mean? You're not exactly sitting there with a plate and fork and knife and everything like this is dinner time, you know what I mean? Special time. It's a known fact that people would ride horses. They would, target the neck of the horse. They would drink the blood and keep going. Man, would keep them alive. Native people, they ate raw meat. What else did they do here? They lived in teepees. They lived off the land. They hunted buffalo and ate raw meat. They didn't cook anything. That's why they were so healthy and strong. They didn't have any disease. So, no, in fact, when you eat, you don't get any inflammation eating raw meat, and you never really get sick when you eat raw meat. It's a known fact. You don't get sick. It's very rare that you start eating raw animal products. It is astronomically impossible, I think, for you to ever get sick. Yeah, just like every other animal out in nature, they never get sick eating what they're supposed to. They don't break the laws of nature as long as they don't break the laws of nature. Humans love to break the laws of nature because it's marketing. It's a scam, marketing, conditioning, whatever. They've even conditioned you now to hate eating raw animal products. It's like this. Back in the day when you watch like Alfalfa, you know, those old those old shows on TV from like the 1930s or something. What are the Stooges, the Three Stooges, and the Little Rascals. Remember the Little Rascals from the 1930s? And then you see the teacher giving them cod liver oil, boom, right in the mouth, right? Well, how many teachers do you know were giving that in the 60s or 70s or 80s or 90s or something in school? They're giving this to kids in school anymore. They're not. They stopped doing that. They stopped doing many things. You know that? They stopped doing many things.
Considered our current Homo sapiens sapiens speciation.
This is not an appeal to nature. This is an appeal to science.
Since the agricultural revolution,
I still remember people eating raw eggs. My mom would eat raw eggs. She fed me raw eggs when I was a child. People ate raw eggs still, like up into like the 70s, just about up to the 80s, and then after the kind of like in the 80s, it kind of like faded out. It's like you didn't really see too many people eating raw eggs, other than maybe Rocky in a video. You'd see him like in some like old movie from like the beginning of the 80s. You'd see him like drinking raw eggs and eating some kind of raw meat or something, or some dude on some like weird show eating raw meat in the restaurant, some Olympic guy or some lifting guy or whatever. But not many people. It started phasing out.
brain has decreased by about 11% and we've got shorter.
There's no
How many people eat organs? Think about it. How many people eat organs anymore? Back in the day, we would eat organs. People would make goulash out of like chicken hearts and everything. They would, there was like some liver, chicken liver and chicken hearts and everything. They would chop them up and make goulash out of it. They don't. I haven't had a goulash in like decades, man. I don't know. People don't make anything like these. If you go to like Vietnamese restaurants here where I live in my city, they do like these special like cartilage soups and things and all that. You'd have to go there and get it. These Asian restaurants, right? Their specialities and stuff. So I don't know. It really depends, right?
other dietary option that gives you as much amino acids, fatty acids, vitamins, and minerals as a carnivore diet.
I would agree. There's no deficiency in meat, but if you cook it, you destroy the water-soluble vitamins and minerals that are in it. You destroy them. And you have changed it molecularly by adding heat to it. So you're incorporating the damaged DNA because now you've damaged the meat by cooking it, adding heat to it, and you're incorporating it into your DNA. So I can only imagine what it's doing.
Our digestive system matches that of a carnivore's. Why are we magically
Our digestive system does match that of a carnivore. And when you eat raw meat, you don't feel anything in your stomach. Hell, you can just keep eating and eating and eating and eating until the point where you can't swallow anymore because there is really no limit. You just keep eating to that limit where whatever it is, your body will stop you at eating, saying, okay, we got enough. Because sometimes I could sit there and I can eat a shitload of meat. Like I like 2 pounds of like raw meat, ground up raw meat, 2 pounds. And I guess even when I get up to about 2 pounds, I don't know. I'm not quite full, I guess. I don't know. It depends, you know? Like I could be just doing that in one seating, like 2 pounds straight in like one seating, like boom. So yeah, I can consume a lot of meat in one seating usually. I can consume a lot. Yeah, it depends, yeah.
omnivores? Well, the answer
Maybe we just were like all other animals. We just would eat a lot until we're satiated and then we wouldn't eat anymore after that. Then the next day would come up, we'd wake up in the morning, and probably we'd like go out somewhere in the afternoon and probably hunt an animal, eat again or something. Or we already have meat left there hanging up, drying out. It's hanging up and drying out on lines. We have it on line, the meat. We just cut it up and then we just eat it again the next day or whatever. Because really raw animal meat doesn't rot. It doesn't rot like cooked meat. Cooked meat rots.
is that question is inherently flawed because we're not.
We've been told that red meat is hard to digest, that it gets stuck or wedged in the colon. But if that's true, how is it in...
What do you mean red meat? You talking about cooked meat? Cooked red meat? Yeah, look what he's showing you here. Look, it looks destroyed. Look at it. Looks carcinogenic. It's fucked up. So yeah, that could destroy your colon. Yeah. It says that in Science. I read a whole story about this. Incorporating DNA and how it gets into your colon. It causes damage to your colon, eating cooked meat. So these guys aren't really carnivores. These guys are all telling you, oh, I'm carnivore, I'm carnivore. You're not really carnivore. You're eating processed meat. This meat is processed. If it's cooked, it's processed. It's really simple.
Liquid form in the bag before it would even enter.
Yeah, look what happened to him. He fucked up his health, eating plants or some shit or whatever, eating cooked meat. And now he's eating cooked meat again. Cooked meat. He's not eating plants anymore, but he's eating cooked meat. See, he thinks everything is derived, all his problems are derived from just eating plants. He's wrong. It's also derived from eating cooked meat. It's also derived from that. You're deteriorating and you're mutating. And you're going to pass these mutated genes on to your offspring.
Colon. This isn't just an anecdote. This is reality.
The father ate meat, the mother ate meat, the pregnant mother ate meat, the breastfeeding.
They did, but they ate it raw in its natural state. They didn't fucking transform it.
Eating mother ate meat. The young child, their first food was meat.
That's how they were able to stay healthy. They didn't need doctors or dentists or drugs or anything.
A bunch of people with a bunch of letters behind their name confuse you with made-up facts. You can't just say, oh, it's a study, so I'll do it.
No, think it through, common sense and rationally.
Is curing people a good business model? Well, clearly it isn't. We're just collateral
Curing people? What do you mean curing people? From what?
damage. Where's the body positivity
From damage.
stuff going? Well, it's been squashed because it doesn't fit the narrative anymore. We now have a drug that can make you lose weight.
There are literally millions of people around the world who have reversed their prediabetes, type 2 diabetes, fatty liver, obesity with a carnivore diet.
Impossible. A carnivore diet cannot reverse any of these diseases. That's a lie. It's not you can't do that. They reverse their diabetes by quit eating whatever caused the diabetes. But here's the thing. Cooked meat, it will glycate. So when you cook meat, it's a known fact, it'll spike your insulin. So that's another problem. People can't figure out why when they go on this fake carnivore diet, the fake cooked carnivore diet, they can't figure out why they're putting on weight. Because some of the people start putting on weight and their insulin spikes. They have some kind of serious issues. Why? Because it's unnatural diet. Again, you're on a diet. You're on a processed, fake carnivore diet. You're not really on a carnivore diet. And they really haven't completely solved their issues. They cut out the mainstream of it, eating plants and sugar and shit and junk food and whatever else they were doing there, the peasant slave food diet. You know what I mean? But that didn't cure them. Meat didn't cure them. The cure is what? You have to stop eating that shit.
I've never seen anything work as well as this. There's nothing I was taught in medical school or beyond that helps.
What do you mean that works so well? You eat the food that you're supposed to eat, and it works well. Yeah, that's how it's meant to be in nature. Yeah.
As many people as this does, to the extent that this does, and that's why I have so many patients.
What do you mean it helps so many people as it does? It doesn't help anybody. What are you talking about? What helped them was they eliminated these fake diets, but then they traded the fake diet for a fake carnivore processed diet.
They're on carnivore because it works.
They're not on carnivore. It's a lie. Again, they're on a fake cooked carnivore diet.
So much money in
They simply traded one diet for another because carnivore is not a diet. Carnivore is what you are.
pharmaceuticals and in the business of distribution of those pharmaceuticals, that it's a real cartel actually.
But you traded one diet for a mutated diet to mutate your offspring and yourself and your DNA by cooking it. They don't realize what the fuck they're doing to themselves. They're so stupid. This is the problem with these fucking people.
Couldn't get meat. Did they eat plants?
Look at them hunting there. Do they look like they're cooking? They're in snow and with a spear and everything. Do they look like they have a bonfire somewhere? They're going to bonfire this animal? They're going to drink that blood raw, and they're going to cut open that animal and eat it warm. They're going to eat those organs while it's still warm, and that blood while it's still warm. They're going to drink it. That's what they're going to do. And then they're going to take up the rest, cut it up, hang it up, and dry the meat. The muscle meat, they're going to hang it up and dry and shit and keep it. And, whatever. And they'll continue eating it, the animal.
course, because eating plants is always preferable to starving.
Again, all these people think that all the problems that these people are suffering are from plants, but we're already seeing the Pottinger study already coming to fruition. People are having crooked faces. They have resuscitating chins, crooked teeth, poor dimorphism, poor aesthetics. Their hair is falling out. You can see them. They're all over the internet with bald heads everywhere, okay? And it's predominantly getting worse and worse, okay? Even Prince Harry, whatever, or Prince whatever, his fucking hair fell out. All these fucking people, bro. This is all, they're not even forming properly. They're complaining small penises, small testicles and all that. That's not from plants as far as I know. Plants cause metabolic diseases for sure. They can cause diabetes, they could cause cancer, they could cause a bunch of things. But as far as the mutations, that's from that which cooked meat can cause disease, they say, and chronic diseases, but it also causes mutations. So there you go. They haven't quite cured their problem.
To literal death.
Meat has absolutely everything that you need in the proportion that you need it. You're not missing anything by doing this. We know this. Why? Because people survived in the Arctic Circle.
Yeah, but it doesn't when you cook it. When you fucking cook it.
During the ice ages, if you're missing even one nutrient, you don't make it.
Again, it doesn't when you destroy it with heat. And you destroy it, it doesn't. Then you have to consume more of it, and then it's fucked up. Anyways, man, I'll see you in the next video. Tell us what you think about that. Like, subscribe, support the channel. I just love these fake carnivore channels. They think they've discovered something or they fell upon something I didn't know before, you know. They even admit in the video, oh, we've never gotten sick 100 years ago. We're getting sick now. But they're going to try to equate everything to plants. It's not just the plants. It's everything else you're doing that's artificial, fake. If it's fake, and it will destroy you. It's really simple. See you in the next one. Ciao, friends. Coming soon to a theater near you. Yep.